between 1862 and 1900. Up until the 1920s, it was home to the nation's largest African American community. The area was coined as Black Broadway by African-American actress and singer Pearl Bailey. U Street was also home to the famous African-American musician Duke Ellington.
Look out! Watch it! Stop what you're doing. Don't think that you can have my love to waste. Careful, brother. Easy. Don't mean a thing if you ain't got that swing.
U Street remained a cultural center for the African American community throughout the 1960s. In 1968, Washington, D.C. experienced violent race riots. This resulted in a huge flight of people from the neighborhood, resulting in the downfall of the U Street neighborhood, followed up by a dramatic rise in drug trafficking throughout the neighborhood during the 1970s.
In this little old tent, just like this river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long.
But one restaurant was able to deeply aid the community.
Change has gotta come now. Ooh, yes, it
Ben's
is.
Chili Bowl has long been deeply involved within the U Street community. Ben's Chili Bowl opened for business on August 22, 1958. Ben's Chili Bowl has seen it all, staying open for business throughout the race riots, 70s, and today's revitalization. In 1963, Ben's Chili Bowl donated food to participants of the March on Washington. During the 1968 race riots, Ben's Chili Bowl obtained permission to stay open past city curfew in order to provide food and shelter. Ben's Chili Bowl has been an integral part to the success of the U Street community.
Oh, yes, it is. There's a time I will go to my brother. Oh,
In speaking with Mrs. Ali, the wife of the founder of Ben's Chili Bowl, the late Ben Ali, she spoke in reference to her close relationships with not only those who work at the establishment, but those who frequent it as well. Mrs. Ali states, "The workers call me Mom. I was here every day until the sun went down. If I saw the car of a regular customer pull up, I would have their food ready for them by the time they walked inside."
it's been a time that I Lord, it's been last very long.
Ben's Chili Bowl has seen it all, surviving the difficult times the community has faced and continues to thrive as the U Street area faces new changes.
It's been a long time coming.
Gentrification is the process of renewal and rebuilding accompanying the influx of middle-class or affluent people into deteriorating areas that often displaces poorer residents. In the 1990s, revitalization in surrounding areas like Logan Circle and Adams Morgan resulted in over 2,000 luxury condos and apartments. This same revitalization is occurring in U Street today. We talked to Professor Bernard Demchuk, a historian for Ben's Chili Bowl. When asked his views on gentrification, he said, "I don't think that is negative because I analyze it." He mentioned how gentrification is a term that was derived and designed by the British in the 19th century. The British Empire wanted to control everything. Before a British governor could control a colony of a minority of people, he needed to learn their psychology. This governor would come from the gentry class. Professor Demchuk believes there is a renaissance occurring in several urban centers of the country. It's about the money because cities are the place to be. We want to have diversity. The professor told us how gentrification locally began with the Ethiopians, who inhabited cheap places to live that were abandoned by African Americans. The professor believes that the root of the issue is determining the way in which we can prevent poor people from being unable to afford the rising housing market due to poor schooling and an overall lack of opportunity.
Yo, remember back on the book when cats used to harmonize like, yo, my men and my women, don't forget about the dean. This is the most the king.
Is it fair to claim U Street as a deteriorating area? U Street has had its ups and downs, but it's always been culturally rich.
It's been 3 weeks since you were looking for your friend, the one you let hit it and never called you again. Remember when he told you he was about to Benjamin?
Is gentrification for U Street just the fading of emphasis on the area's cultural and historical importance? Is gentrification really bad if it brings new resources and more diversity?
You did it then, and you probably talking out your neck saying you're a Christian, a Muslim, sleeping with the jinn. Now that was the sin that did Jezebel in. Who you gonna tell?
In most instances, the presence of gentrification is discussed in a somewhat negative light. But this does not always have to be the case. Gentrification and the arrival of individuals from many unique backgrounds has allowed the U Street area to gain prominence and diversity. When asked about change within the area, Ben's Chili Bowl manager Rita Ali said that change is good because change is growth. How do we grow while still remaining inclusive? Gentrification can be good if we build up off of what already exists instead of starting anew. Keeping the area affordable for its pre-existing residents will allow them to continue to reside in the area while more affluent people move in. This will further diversify the area, resulting in the enriching of U Street's melting pot culture. Gentrification is not black and white. Gentrification has its pros and cons, and it's up to the community it affects to decide whether it will be a good or bad process. Gentrification in DC can lead to better resources, like better public schools and the elimination of food deserts, only if it is implemented in a way in which it is accessible to both the area's pre-existing and new population. By leaving some of communities' pre-existing businesses and resources alongside the implementation of new and pricier ones, an area can remain affordable for its pre-existing residents while also providing new resources. By implementing gentrification in this moderate way, an area can change while still comfortably accommodating new and old residents.